What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with another video on Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Warstu. No, I'm only joking. Rise of Skywalker, which is very interesting. So, allegedly, supposedly, the ending of the movie and the third act has been leaked. Now, the article I'm going to go over, it does say don't share it on the internet, but I do think it's kind of interesting. But the article is on the internet, so it's like saying I can share it, but you can't. So, seeing as we go over this kind of stuff, I think it will be very interesting. But there is going to be a spoiler warning, so I don't ruin your life if it turns out to be true. But like I've said, guys, a lot of people are reporting this story, so I thought we'd share it. It is kind of interesting, I guess. So if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. Also, check out warstu.com, and if you have come over from warstu.com, thank you. So if we ever hit 100,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a PS4 Pro with Spider-Man PS4 Game of the Year Edition. Or, if you don't like PlayStation, Xbox One X with Gears of War 5. And also subscribe to the newsletter for Warstu.com. That would be awesome. So, this information we are talking about is from StarMakingWars.net, and it's published by someone called Jason Ward, although there's a lot of other websites like Inverse.com reporting the same story. So it's a little bit old. I think it's about a day or so old, but I think it'd be pretty interesting to cover. Like I said, we are going to be covering different kind of information, but this is not really spoilery because I'm not going to say anything in the title that's spoilery, and we're going to be 2 minutes into the video before I even say one single spoiler. So let's get into the video. So I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, let's be honest, guys, but from people I've spoken to who are really in Star Wars, apparently this website is very reliable. It's a trustworthy source, so I've just got to take that at face value. So careful for spoilers. What I'm about to say might ruin your life, but realistically, guys, it's the 21st century. No one really cares for spoilers unless it's EndGame, so to speak. So let's get into this. So this article does confirm what we went over in our first Star Wars video that I did a few weeks ago. So let's get into this. Empire Empirical. I've seen some Sith. I'm ready to talk a bit more about what I know about the final confrontation in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker and what my source have described as the money shot. Now, the phrase the money shot comes up a lot in this article. Of the film, having seen the shot, I can't say I disagree with them. Some of this has been discussed in previous pieces about the Dark Lord of the Sith. Obviously, a deception is never as rad as the real thing, so make sure that it's taken into account before becoming too judgmental about the moment described. I do not believe this moment will be seen before the film is released in the trailers or anywhere else. The shot requires a lot of exposure from spoilers from The Rise of the Skywalker. A Makori La Z Boy Game of Thrones, the climax of Star Wars The Rise of the Skywalker. It culminates with Rey confronting the Empire on his stone thorny throne. The high back chair on the throne is essentially the throne Ralph McQuarrie designed for the Return of the Jedi. However, the throne is surrounded by 4 giant thorns on each side of the throne, with 2 smaller thorns near the Empire's rest arm. The seat is 4 or 5 steps high. It appears to have tiny red lights on a few of the throne thorns. Now, there actually is images. Let's continue. Darth Sidious dresses for the job he wants, not the job he has. Darth Sidious, former emperor of the Galactic Empire, sits upon this throne after Ben Solo has died. Oh my god, Ben Solo's died. But before Ben's death, Darth Sidious has channeled the Force through Rey and Ben and rejuvenated himself to his former Revenge of the Sith look youth. Well, essentially it says, Revenge of the Sith look youth, looking as he did when he declared himself Emperor. The Jedi Order several decades before in Revenge of the Sith. The rejuvenated Darth Sidious appears in The Rise of Skywalker wearing a red robe with a black hooded tunic over the robes. His waist is tied with a black belt with silver bucket on it with a red light offset to the right hand side. It is my personal opinion that this may be Palpatine's best costume in the Skywalker saga. The black tunic is like Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker's Return to Jedi costume, but the skirt flows down to his feet. So it continues, and this is where it goes on about, is Ben Solo really dead? His fate. The final confrontation of the Skywalker saga takes place on the dead world of Exogola? Something like that. Darth Sidious has thrown Ben Solo into the abyss, and this is apparently where he dies. I've heard Ben falls into the mist, much like Han Solo's death in The Force Awakens, and it visually rhymes. I believe this happens after Rey and Ben are drained by Darth Sidious in the end. Rey's weakened and seamlessly alone for the final confrontation, which kind of lines up to other things that we've heard before to do with Star Wars leaks, but we are new to covering the whole Star Wars game. If Ben is resurrected, sources are not aware of, and that makes it sound like this guy hasn't seen this thing play out. That said, how many characters have fallen into their deaths in Star Wars and stayed gone? Hell, even Harrison Ford returned in the movie after his death in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Darth Maul survived with little on-screen explanation. Luke Skywalker fell, Bispin, and it wasn't pleasant, but he was okay. Palpatine gets tossed into the pit by Darth Vader. He appeared dead, apparently, turns up in this film as an old, shriveled up version of Sidious in a bed. I theorize that when Rey is rejuvenated to face Palpatine, Ben Solo may be the power from the other side that helps Rey in the end. But as for now, that is it for that part. And then the money shot setup, which essentially is the final battle, I presume. The rejuvenated Sith Lord Darth Sidious projects Sith lightning into the heavens above from his fingertip, believing Rey to be incapacitated. Rey, however, is revitalized by the Jedi who lived before her for the final confrontation with Palpatine. So there is some ghost voodoo stuff happening here. She slowly begins to raise as Palpatine zaps the Resistance fleet with his torrent of lightning. Above the dead planet, the Resistance fleet and the First Order Sith fleet are about to clash. The blast of the lightning from Darth Sidious' fingertips into the sky above acts as supernatural EMP that causes the Resistance fleet to essentially short out and float dead in the waters of space, making it vulnerable to the Sith fleet. It appears that in that moment that all is lost. Darth Sidious is ready to retake his place as Galactic Empire when Rey interrupts the Sith victory and stands before her grandfather. Remember, that kind of came from a plot leak, which turns out to be real. Maybe, if this is true. The restored Rey catches Darth Sidious's attention, and he is forced to stop his stream of Sith lightning. The Resistance fleet recovers power back on, and the fight against the Sith fleet above Exglo ensures Rey buys the fleet just enough time for the Millennium Falcon to show up with reinforcements for the final epic space battle, just as Darth Sidious lowers his hands and stops attacking the fleet from above. The Sith Lord looks to Rey, angrily blasts his lightning towards his granddaughter. Rey ignites Leia, and Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber deflects her grandfather's attack. The money shot, and then it's just showing you a static image, like a picture concept art of, you know, it's interesting, of Rey with a lightsaber and the Sith Lord with his lightning, which is interesting. So it leaves you on a cliffhanger before we go next bit, but it's a bit obvious that Rey is not going to die. Rey's not going to turn evil. She will defeat him. It sounds better than I actually thought originally, guys. You know me, I tell you how it is. I'm honest. I'm transparent here. So let's read on. Then we've got a little line that says, Darth Sidious who? After doing an extensive deep dive with sources of the film, I have to conclude that Palpatine does not use the lightsaber in the film, and if he ever did, it does not wield it in this film anymore. So I do not expect Palpatine to use his lightsaber against Rey and Ben. I also have to conclude that Matt Smith is not a part of this film, as we once thought Matt Smith's involvement is based on reality, not just rumor. However, something must have changed. I theorized that Palpatine was going to be rejuvenated into a younger self, with Matt Smith playing the part of the mid-30s Palpatine, but I also theorized that it was decided to just bring in Ian and let him do the whole thing because he is Palpatine. Darth Sidious after all. So the money shot really was Rey looking at Palpatine blasting lightning, not from a lightsaber, and Rey having the lightsaber. Ultimately, she probably will destroy him, but that's all we can really theorize, guys. This is the news that's been reported everywhere, and as I said, guys, I will be covering a larger and different subjects, so I thought we'd kick it with Star Wars. Hopefully, I haven't ruined anything for you. I did give enough spoiler warnings, etc., and realistically, this does sound pretty cool. The artist's work is pretty cool. Who's the artist? Artistic Deceptions from my notes. A shot from filming shows the McCurry throwing Darth Vader Sidious new ropes. Rey defending herself from the attack from Skywalker sabers. I mean, it looks cool, guys. I mean, I probably won't use it on a thumbnail because it's got a massive watermark over the top of it, but it does look pretty cool. So like always, guys, let me know if you want me to keep these Star Wars videos up. Please hit the like button. Please comment and subscribe to the channel, and also check out warstu.com. It just helps the channel out, trying to grow your channel. We're trying to do more than Marvel, etc. So yeah, guys, please support Star Wars videos. Let me know, do you think this is cool? Do you not like this idea? Do you think this is what happens? I mean, from what we can gather, this is quite a reliable website, so it pretty much is confirmed to be true, really. Maybe, I'm not sure. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you very soon. Catch you later.